Hello everyone, welcome into Coach Craig Sports. This is the UFL DFS video for the championship game, the single game slate. So what we'll be doing in this video is kind of breaking down my sheet overall for this week, talk a little bit more maybe on the theory side than we typically do since it's only the two teams. It's a single game main slate, obviously. On my sheet, it's going to be the base generic price tags. That won't have the captain price tag, which will be a time and a half more. So just kind of have to factor that in as you're building out your lineups. But since there's only one player that goes in the captain spot, it's easier to talk about the remaining players, at that normal price. We're going to start off with the Stallions. Adrian Martinez is $11,000. I consider him a GPP option, obviously coming off of last week's performance where he did ultimately end up getting benched. Probably going to lower his ownership quite a bit this week. But I still expect him to be fairly popular. Skip Holtz did say that he would be the starter for this game. Matt Corral behind him at $10,600. Do consider him a leverage play if you want to go that direction. If you think, Adrian Martinez struggles once again, then could go back to Matt Corral, but it is a little bit more risky of a play. That's why I do have it listed as a leverage play. Both running backs for the Stallions, CJ Maribel, Ricky Person Jr., I have listed as GPP options. I think one of them probably has a decent game. Kind of determine which one it's going to be is going to be the hardest thing for us this week overall, so I'd probably get a little bit of exposure to both them just in general. And then in terms of the receiving options, we got Deion Kane at the top as well as Jace Sternberger. Those are probably the top two. I would think Jace Sternberger is going to come in as kind of a cash game option. I expect him to be one of the top 3 or 4 most rostered players for this week overall. Would expect that he's a pretty popular captain option, only being $6,800. Deion Kane, I think, definitely has some upside. He's been a little bit slower in recent weeks, but still a consistent, steady guy. Probably, that wide receiver one for this team still. Marlon Williams, I do have listed down here as a leverage option at $6,400, although his snaps have been going down as of late. And then Maury Rodgers has been doing a little bit better as of late at $5,000. If you want to roll him out in GPP, you could definitely do that. Kevin Austin Jr. has been playing a decent amount of snaps, but he's barely had any targets the last couple of weeks. So, if you really want to go with the dart throw there, you could do that with him. Otherwise, we're looking at Gary Jennings and Benjamin Victor as kind of dart throws, but, they're just kind of salary fillers, dart throws. Hopefully they do some. I'd prefer Gary Jennings of those two, though. And then if you really want to get to Marcus Bauer or Jordan Thomas down as the other tight end options as dart throws, you could do it. I'm just not really getting there myself personally, even though Jordan Thomas did have a good week last week. So I think people are going to get there, even though I don't think it's the correct play. And then I have the Stallions defense and Chris Blewett, the kicker, listed as leverage plays. So we'll see kind of how they shake out. I'm not expecting too much from them just in general. But if it fits alongside the type of build that you're trying to build out, it does make some sense to get there if you really want to. Then we're going to move down to the Brahmas side. So I have Chase Garbers listed as the cash game option. I think he's going to be the most popular or second most popular player on this week's slate overall. $10,200, looks like the clear-cut starter at quarterback and should play most of the game, if not all the game for the San Antonio Brahmas. So I definitely do like him. Probably going to be a very, very popular captain play at the same time too as well. And then obviously if you're playing him, you're probably going to want to get to some of the wide receivers, but we're going to get to running backs first. So I have Anthony McFarland as a solid GPP option. I think he's going to be very popular again this week too. He's been really good since he's come back from injury. And then John Lovett is the other running back at $5,800. Just kind of a leverage option if you want to get there just in general. Probably not going to be getting there too much myself personally though. And then we move down to the wide receivers. I think Justin Smith's probably a cash game option at $5,200 this week. If you're playing Chase Garbers, makes some sense to get to him. Makes some sense to get to Kirkland at the same time as well. Kirkland at $10,000 GPP option, but he's probably going to be pretty close to a cash game option for this week overall as well. Marquez Stevenson's coming off early solid week, so he's going to be a little bit more popular this week, but kind of a GPP option. I will say the one really sneaky guy here for this Brahmas team, Calvin Turner. He played a decent amount of snaps last week. I don't think he had a single target, but he is $1,000 for a guy that was playing a ton of snaps. So as a dart throw, he's a kind of interesting option. If you really want to get to like KD Cannon, Landon Akers, you could definitely do that as kind of dart throws as well. Cannon, I believe, played like 2 or 4 snaps last week. I can't remember which off the top of my head. And then Akers played, like a decent amount of snaps, but nothing too productive out of there. And then as Alize Mack, the tight end, is our other dart throw if you really, really want to get there. Although he's only seen 2 or 3 targets since Cody Lattimore went down. And then in terms of the Brahmas defense, I consider them a GPP option. I think right now they might actually be the better defense. I think there's more opportunities on their end just in general, especially if they can get after Adrian Martinez and cause some chaos like the Panthers were able to do last week. So they would be the one that I would play of the two defenses, but obviously it depends on how you build out your lineup this week. And then Ryan Santoso, the kicker, just a leverage play. I really don't think his outputs warrants the $4,400 price tag just in general for him. So, it's just a leverage play if you want to get there. But that's kind of where I'm at this week overall. I do expect that like Chase Garbers, Anthony McFarland, Justin Smith, and Jay Sternberger are probably going to be like the four most popular players this week overall. I think that probably Garbers, Smith, and Sternberger are the most popular captain options. We might see a little bit of McFarland in there too as well. I do expect to see Kirkland up there. It's going to make for a very interesting slate overall, but just want to do a quick little rundown here. If you guys want to talk any more strategy, any more theory, have any specific questions related to this UFL DFS championship game for the single game slate, feel free to drop all that down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Obviously, we don't have all the inactives. We don't have all the injury news and everything else like that. That should be coming out either later tonight or at some point tomorrow. Obviously, we saw the depth chart debacle last week kind of with the Brahmas, where we really didn't have that information, so couldn't be pretty interesting, but I doubt they would do that for the championship game, but you never truly know, so I will be on top of it as much as possible, leaving all that down in the comments. This sheet will be up on the Patreon as always. If there's any other notable changes that happen to it, it will be posted on that sheet as well. But with that being said, if you're brand new to my channel, checking out for the very first time, or have yet to subscribe, please consider doing so. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now, we have MLB DFS in terms of the core picks Monday through Friday. Then my CFL DFS video going up once a week, typically on Wednesdays. And this is the final UFL DFS video for the 2024 season. And with that being said, hopefully the UFL is back in 2025 and I'll be doing more content at that point in time as well. But definitely do appreciate each and every one of you that have supported these UFL DFS videos over the course of the season. Definitely does mean a lot to me. And then last but not least, if you're interested in sports betting, if you're interested in prop betting whatsoever, be sure to check out the links and promo codes down in the description below for BetUS, Parlay Play, and Prize Picks. If you're a brand new user to any one of those three sites, when you sign up, make your initial deposit, you will get a first match deposit bonus. For Prize Picks and Parlay Play, it's a 100% match up to $100, and then for BetUS, it's a 125% match up to $2,500. So some pretty great opportunities to be had out there. And then with that being said, if you have any other additional questions related to that whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me, whether it's down in the comments or on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport, and be more than happy to help you with that journey as well. But with that being said, that's all that I truly have for today's video. Definitely do appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. Definitely do appreciate each and every one of you once again that have supported these UFL DFS videos throughout the season. I hope that each and every one of you have a great rest of your day and some pretty good luck in UFL DFS for this championship game, single game showdown slate.